Welcome to our introduction to awakening your supernatural, your superpowers, magic.
Welcome, everybody. I'm Manjit, and I'm so grateful you guys could join us today. And what an amazing topic that we're about to embark on. So today is just a taster. So thrilled, and I wonder what we can create in the time we have together.
Yes, and I'm Gosia. I haven't introduced myself. So we've been talking, we always talk about magic when we get together and always look at all the places and spaces where we are magic, where we are not magic, where we could be magic, where people are not being magic, where this reality squish the magic out of existence, where people doubt that they are actually capable of something out of the ordinary. And we decided to do something about it and contribute to changing this on the planet, however it's going to unfold and show up. And we would love to play with you today and then in a full day class a little bit further in the future. So let's dive in.
Absolutely. Well, I want to open up by starting by asking you guys a question. Awakening your supernatural. What had you guys say yes to this call, and what came up for you when you even heard the word like to awaken your supernatural? What does that stir for you? What did that bring up for you? What did that start to activate in your space?
And you can write on the side in a little chat. There's a little chat bubble if you don't want to talk, or you just unmute yourself, because I muted everyone for the quality of the recording and open possibilities. Yes. What else? What else? What else?
What it did for me was like beyond what's going on. I had a really strange yesterday, and it was like it's like this stupid little stuff trying to keep you stuck and not your supernatural, if that makes sense.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it truly does make sense.
It does make sense. You know, thank you for saying it, and we can talk about possibilities as well. What I've noticed what's happening lately, and this is kind of like out there, my theory, I've been going through huge roller coasters recently, and it's always energetic and it's always welcome. It's always very unpleasant and rather dynamically intense. But when I stopped trying to fix it, trying to analyze it, trying to do something about it, and started asking questions like, what is it? Is it actually something clearing from my space? Is it something shifted? Is it something changing? Is something changing on actually global scale right now? I always got a yes. And it gave me comfort, this energetic comfort of being okay with what is, rather than fighting it, make it wrong because I'm feeling miserable and I'm just on the bottom of the barrel, feeling like crap about myself, my life. But it's literally a process, because it never lasts longer than a few hours, maybe a day. And then the next day I wake up feeling completely different. So it happened enough times for me to see the pattern that something is indeed shifting and changing on a cosmic level. So while we're sitting deep in our little world and think that this is the end of the world for us and our life is just so terrible and everything is just so wrong and why am I even here? And I think death would be a really good option right now, because this is what I've heard too in my head. We just have to embrace that the whole planet is shifting. That the old, the crappy, the heavy, the difficult, the contracted has to go. This is like, you know, karma clearing on a global scale. And we, the conscious aware ones, the light workers, if you want to use this word, are actually assisting others in changing that. So we're not only going through this process ourselves, we're actually also assisting the planet in it. So never go into the wrongness if something like this is happening. You are magic. You are supernatural. You are super aware. And always ask, is this me? Is this really me going through that? Or is this the part of something bigger? And I'm just going through something, experiencing something on a larger scale, and be okay with it. Be good to yourself, be okay with it. So this is the magic. This is the magic, and this is our path to magic. This is how it for me. It seems like the magic is more available now than ever. And it seems like we have to sometimes go through some obstacles and things to really be the magic, embrace it, be it, completely start functioning from the magic and supernatural. So hope this helps. Manjit, do you have to? Thank you.
Oh, I love everything you've just said. And it is so huge. Sherry's just said it's absolutely huge. And I just want you guys to even tap into like one question I want to pose for you guys to take away with today is like, how psychic are you? And that's a question I've been playing with for probably the last 2 years. And every time I ask that one question, and when I say psychic, we've all got different capacities with our supernatural, which is why Gosia and I really want to explore this in a full day, to have you start to acknowledge and really claim your supernatural, because it's unseen, it's unfathomable, it's untouchable. It's often, these energies that are really truly like beyond this reality. They don't solidify, they don't quite fit in, and that's what has a lot of us doubt ourselves and get into that pickle that Gosia was talking about. But it really takes us to that question, like, if you are really truly willing to acknowledge that you're supernatural firstly and tap into the psychic capacities that you have, you are aware of literally everything that's going on globally, like nationally, and then going beyond that, like, different dimensions, different realities, different planets. You are aware of every single thing and every single choice that's happening, even though there's no words to put to it. So even right now, like, would you tap into like, how many barriers have you had to put up to resist and react, or make yourself right or make yourself wrong about how psychic and supernatural you truly are? And for how many lifetimes have you been walking around with these barriers up, making yourself wrong? Because what is a barrier? It just has you resist what is. And it keeps persisting, it keeps persisting, it keeps persisting. Because we've started with this call with like, when you go into a wonk, what if that's the persistence of consciousness waking you up, tapping you on your shoulder, saying, this is not about resisting right now. This is not a wonk. This is me tapping on your door, banging on your door to awaken those supernatural capacities. So how many of you would actually just acknowledge right now, like, how psychic are you? And even if you play with this question for the rest of the year, the rest of the day, that one question literally takes me from going into this squirrely, I call it becoming a squirrel, where you're just like looking for nuts. And all of a sudden you look at your body and you think, I'm a human. Why am I looking for nuts? Oh, that's right. I'm truly psychic. How many thoughts, feelings, emotions, vibrations are you aware of? That the universe and consciousness is whispering constantly. And if you weren't to resist and react to it, what could become available?
I doubt of my psychic, Andrew says.
Yeah.
Yes, and doubt is a really, this pesky little thing that can limit the greatest, most amazing, beautiful, brilliant beings on this planet. And the best idea of like how to deal with doubt, it's to really do everything to release it, clear it, ignore it, dump it, divorce it. You don't want to function from doubt. Doubt, it's like invalidation of your being, actually. That's what underneath that. And it's a very, very good way of limiting beautiful, magical beings. And doubt their own existence and their own magic. So it's also distractor implants, which, it distracts you from being conscious, distracts you from being aware. And it's designed to do that. So all the doubt, you want to try to at least move some of it. So anywhere you have doubt in your
just
universe, tap into the doubt. Yeah. Anywhere in your universe, past, present, future, whether it's like something solid, you can tap into where it is in your body, in your universe. You can have color, shape, you can have consistency, however you want to perceive it. Or just like say doubt in my life, everywhere I function from doubt. Just step into that and start looking at it like, really? Are you going to stop me? Look at that and start watching it dissipate and release, and everything that holds it in existence, all the glue that holds it. It's an implant or explant. Just start dissipating and releasing it. Destroying and creating, canceling all of that, past, present, future, all the choices, thoughts, feelings, and emotions that were run by doubt in the past that created the future. And now let's undo it as well. More. See all the places where doubt actually served you and worked for you and had value for you. Wherever you aligned and agreed with any point of view from your mom, dad, anybody in your family, country, anyone around you, and disconnect from that too. Say bye-bye doubt. Let's try and create. And return it to center of consciousness attached, because you're not the one who invented it. You just learned it from someone, somewhere. Long time ago in a galaxy far, far away, doubt was created and invented. And we've been buying it ever since. The very hot product on this planet. But you can certainly not use it anymore. So just see, every time it comes out, just say, look at it, acknowledge it, and say, you know what? I'm not gonna believe you, work with you, function from you. You can go now. Return it to sender, dissipate and release. Don't make it wrong. Don't make yourself wrong. It's just an energy. And energy can be changed, always transmuted, transformed. So do you feel any change, difference, lightness, heaviness? Something came up. And it's not like 1 second fix. Clearing doubt doesn't take, one clearing, but it will make you more aware when it comes up. And you have a choice. You always have a choice. You can go with that, or you can kind of choose something different. And World Psychic.
Thank you, Gosia. Thank you. It was very, very attached to me, in this area. It was it was hard to put it out.
Yes. Now it's kind of loosened up, and it's
yes.
softer, right? Because I felt too, it's like my whole...
Yes, right here.
Yeah, became concrete.
Yes. Thank you, Gosia.
It's energy. It's not that you have a brick in your chest or a rock. It's actually energy. As heavy as it seems and feels, and how real as real as it seems, is just energy. So energy can be just loosen up, and you can start watching it and dissipate it, and it's gone. We make energy so significant, and we believe it so much, and we believe the past so much, while we can just look at it and change it. That's the magic.
Is that a supernatural capacity, Gosia? Is being able to change something? So would you acknowledge that, like, even right now on this call, if you have been able to move something that felt solid, that felt so real, we gave it a label doubt, but it's actually just an energy that's a little bit more stagnant than the flow and the movement of the sparkles that you be. If you can shift that even 1%, would you acknowledge that that is you being magic? That is you being supernatural, being able to shift and change things that were solid. It's the movement of the particles. It's the movement of the molecules. So I'd also like to invite you guys to, if you are doing this and, doubt does creep in, how many lifetimes have you had people question you over your magic? That's not real. That's not true. And eventually their point of view, for some reason, becomes way more important than what you knew about you. So it is a galaxy far, far, far away, but we've done it for a long time. So go easy on yourself. This is why we're awakening it. We're not like slamming you into the space of like, now be magic, go, and it's like, no, there's an awakening, there's a resonance, there's a harmony, there's an honoring of that. So I would also suggest, as well as looking at this energy, when you are moving that energy, truly sit in your power I have just shifted and moved something that I thought was so solid and real. That's my supernatural capacity right there. What else can I do with this? If I can move this in my body, where else could I move this? Can I move it in rooms? Can I move it in my relationships? Ooh, can I move it around those rolls in my stomach that I keep telling myself I don't like? You know, can I move it with the molecules called money in my bank account? Can I move it in my business? How can I now? So this is the beautiful thing. Initially, you see it as doubt. Do you see how it comes up? And this is where it is beautiful. It taps on the door because you can hear it. You can hear the tap of doubt. This is how beautiful consciousness is. It is going to tap on your door in the way you're going to hear it. So you open the door and there's doubt. But instead of going into this is doubt, what if you're like, right, I'm going to play with you. I'm going to play with you. I'm either going to immerse myself in here and take a deep dive and really embody you. Even that is supernatural. Do you get that? It was just a thought. And you made it into this thing. It may not be the thing you want to perceive and feel and emote and put out there, but it is magic. You did that from a sheer thought. You created something that sat in your body, sat in your reality. But if you were to own that as a supernatural capacity, what could you start doing with it? What could you start choosing with it? And how could you start maneuvering and moving through the world with that capacity? So I would also recommend having what I call like my magic journal or your supernatural journal, and start to acknowledge this stuff. I just shifted something heavy to light. That's supernatural. You guys do it so often that you live like this. So to you, it's not magic. You know, it's like, oh, you know, how many of you have negated and diminished what's been magical? It is not normal for everybody to be able to walk into a room and change the molecules. How many of you guys used to walk into a room when your parents were arguing and you knew instantly? You knew it. Or your friend is upset and you pick up the phone and you call. And we call that like, oh, it was just my awareness. No, that is a supernatural capacity. Is tapping into somebody at the other side of the world and picking up the phone. But yet we doubt it. How many of those things do you do throughout the day that you just think are like normal? And Gosia and I were talking, like, you know, a lot of us are still just like scratching the surface with this, where it's like, oh, the car parking fairies always give me a spot right outside my favorite store. How many of you guys have that? You know, you find a car park, you know, that. Okay, that is not even like the beginning of your magic. That is reality for you. That is not magical. That is your reality. So if the universe and you combined together with your supernatural capacities can create a car parking spot every time, what else can you create that you haven't even started to tap into? That's what I'm excited about in this call, you know. And it's like, I don't want to make anything wrong. Like, bring the doubt, like bring it all, because to me, it's all your supernatural capacities with just a point of view attached to it. It just has a judgment that it's wrong or right, but it's actually still supernatural. And this is where we got to start claiming it and literally sitting in that power and going, Jesus, I'm bloody good. Jesus, I'm bloody good. Look what I just did again. Oh my God, I just picked up this thing called doubt and I just created it. Look what I did. I created a shitstorm in like 5 seconds. Whoa. And we do the same with like amazing things. You know, how many of you guys have pulled money out of your butt when you've needed it?
Oh, yeah.
Anybody done that? Like, it's just literally shown up. Supernatural. How many of you guys have like met someone and you've just had this amazing connection and you've downloaded without your cognition of how many lifetimes you've had together, and there's just this beautiful flow of energy? Supernatural, right?
I've pulled money out of my butt before.
Yeah, of course you have, because you poop rainbows and like gold nuggets, and you know,
when I needed it came.
Yeah,
absolutely.
Yeah.
And this is where go ahead, sorry.
Just want to say, magic is usually reserved for emergency situations rather than daily functioning, playing, being, enjoying our life.
Yeah.
Well, I'd like to shift that from just doing it during emergencies and just, you know, doing it, you know, more without an emergency. If that,
Yeah, we want to talk about that in the class, because that was something we both became aware of, is when, the heat is up and you're turned up, it's almost like we step into the space of where there is nothing in our world other than the magic. You've pretty much, you've burnt through your resources, you've done everything else. And in that moment, you're like, shit. And then you pull it out, you pull everything from the universe, and all of a sudden you're back on track. Like, how many of us have done that? Like, you'll absolutely get to the rock bottom, whether it's financially or in your relationships or with your body or with your health. And then you'll go, oh shit, that's not my reality. I'm magical. Somewhere that goes off. And what would it be like to not have to get to rock bottom to prove yourself right or wrong? Because that's the killer. It kills your magic daily. That living in the doubt versus I'm magical, like that constant energy, is a wasted energy, really. And we'd like to talk about that, like actually utilizing the energy sources that you have, because this lifetime will be gone in a blink of a second. Yeah, it will be gone. Do you want to spend your time in magic and playing with those molecules and playing with, the realms of the fairies and the angels and possibilities and sparkles? Or do you want to spend your lifetime playing with the doubt and the blame and the anger, the frustration, the emergency situations? That's our invitation, is to up-level that and truly, like, it's time. The planet's ready. The universe is ready. Your magic is waiting.
It's not only ready. I'm sorry to interrupt. It's not only ready. It actually requires us. We're the missing element. We're the crucial piece that will change everything. And if we stay in doubt, or I'm not sure, or I'm not that good, I'm not that special, you know what? You're robbing the world of the gift of you, of your specific vibrations. They're actually required for everything to shift. So it should be illegal somewhere on some level to stay hidden and not magical and not supernatural, but not yet the reality. Maybe one day. For all of the hidden ones, hiding ones, not sure ones, shy ones, to come out and bloom and shine and show up, because it's time. This is no longer like, maybe I have like 10 more years, maybe next lifetime. No, it's absolutely not the case anymore. We do have to stand up. And you know what? When we talk about supernatural, look at the word supernatural. When you say this is super good, which means very good, right? This is super easy, very easy. Supernatural, it's very natural. It's something that's very natural for us, yet we think it's something outside. It's something that only the chosen and special one have access to. No, the word tells you it's a very natural thing to be magic. Somehow the truth is hidden in the world and nobody sees it. So everywhere we made very natural, not natural, and not accessible, and only reserved for the special ones. Let's just blow it out of existence and destroy and uncreate and dissipate and release all of that. Because it's just not true. It's completely reversed. So everywhere you think supernatural is not you and not for you, or maybe only special occasions, situations, emergencies, that's not true. And when you're living in the lie, even if you're lying to yourself, somebody lies to you, what do you feel? You feel heavy, you feel angry, you feel annoyed. So how much annoyance, anger, heaviness are you carrying from denying yourself something that's your birthright, that's who you are, what you are? It's like apple tree resisting to produce apples. This is why it's there. It can't say like, I'm not going to produce apples. That's wrong. I want to grow bananas. No, you are made there to create apples. You're here to be magic, to create magic. Stop stopping yourself. And thank you, Manjit, for all the beautiful words. It's like music.
Oh, you too. It's and stop stopping yourself. But what we also wanted to create with this class is what we noticed is, I'm here in LA and I'm creating magically. Like, it's like, but Sherry rang me a few weeks ago and said, I want to know how you live so magically. Like, I just see you. And this was like me sharing glimpses of my life. And my heart starts to palpitate. And I was like, shit, she sees me. How many of you are actually not like just afraid of being magical, but afraid that other people are going to see your magic and what they're going to think? and how they're going to treat you. So that was actually what was going on for me. It was really real for me. And she said, can I interview you and talk to you about how you create magically? And I just went in. And Sherry can tell you, I just froze. I was like, oh, no, like, I'm not special. And it's like the apple tree saying, I'm not an apple tree. And that claiming of it isn't being egotistic. It isn't being big-headed. It actually puts the wheels into motion of a very different reality. And that's where, like, you know, it's actually being in your power with it and truly allowing the universe to support that gift to be nourished and flourish. And then I meet Gosia and I realize we're both like sitting in the car and, you know, we're both uber aware. We're uber aware. We're living in LA. That it's like, to me, it's one of the change capitals on the planet. Hollywood, you know, every village that we haven't even heard of on the planet watches Hollywood. Like, everything is connected somehow to the creative energy that comes from here somehow. And I sat to her and we're both like in this space, and all of a sudden we just meet each other and it diffused, right? It diffused. There's like sparkles again. We're like feeling like ourselves again. We're lighter. We're moving differently through the world. All of a sudden we're in this beautiful Cuban bar and ideas are flowing and creation is moving. Our bodies are turned on. And this is what had us both go, oh my goodness, we actually need support in this now too. We need to surround ourselves with the beautiful, magical people that are out there so we can have more of us. How many of us have been surrounding ourselves with the people who doubt us to keep the doubt in place? And how many of us surround ourselves with people who don't see us? And then you'll meet that one person, everything gets activated. So we wanted to create a space for people to be able to play in this in a really safe environment as you develop and you nourish these capacities and brilliances and you fly in the world with them, because it's not easy on your own. Like, it hasn't been for me. And this is where it's like, it's beautiful that the universe brings us together and we all see each other. You know, those moments where you've walked down the street or you're in a shopping center and you catch somebody's eye and you know they're magic. And they know you're magic. But there's something really beautiful about supporting that and nourishing that and nurturing that. And that's what I got with Gosia. And this is like this class came together with all of these little nuggets. And I was like, oh, let's invite more people to this. What's it going to be like if there's like 100 of us or like, you know, 1,000 of us? And truly just living that, owning that, claiming that. You know, what would that create?
Yes. Can you perceive the space that got created and energy that got created with those words? Is it already more magical, more spacious, more generative, more energized? Can you perceive that in your body? Have you noticed it and didn't acknowledge it? Or maybe you did. So please just take a moment to acknowledge what was created just with those words. How Manjit expressed it, explained it, just looking at that, asking for it, being in the presence of it, changes everything. So what if you were this catalyst of change, for change, everywhere you go, everywhere you show up? And you probably are that already. And how much are you not acknowledging it? How much are you dismissing it? How much you go like, I don't know, I didn't do anything. I just like ask a question. I just smile. I don't know, this person is smiling at me. They want to talk to me. What if I have people reaching out sometimes to me from far, far, far away past? And, you know, it seems random, but today I asked, like, do they actually perceive something different about me? Why would they even spend 2 minutes of their life to reach out and see how I'm doing? So there are people that actually seek this magic and they perceive something is magical, different, special about you, and they want to be around you. They want to be closer to you. They want to surround themselves with this energy. So the recognition is there. You can only see what you already are. So you would not see a person being magical if you weren't magical yourself. So this person is just an invitation. We're just an invitation for you to acknowledge who you already are, what you came here to be. What magical life could you create? And even if things seem difficult right now, maybe they're not flowing as much as you would like to, it is a time of global awakening and change. Everything is speeding up. Everything is transforming. Everything is accelerating. So we're on for a wild ride, and magic will come very handy. So we have amazing things we want to talk about in this class. And I will write, I will read it for you. Finding your supernatural abilities. We actually came up with a body process that will activate magic that you can do on someone else and on yourself. We will be clearing the limiting past, changing realities, talking about time travel, about parallel realities, timelines, dimensions, mystical creatures and entities, because they're a big part of the energetic world that we're surrounded with, and something that can really contribute to us being more magical. We'll be talking about becoming a dominant entity in your life. So you have to be willing to be that in order to be this catalyst for change. We'll be talking about your capacities, healing capacities with bodies, looking at different abilities, capacities that we had in other lifetimes and how to access them. We're looking at reclaiming your power, potency, by changing molecules, by stepping into everything you are, and talking about consciousness, about things, of places, spaces, and consciousness that just is, consciousness that is everything around us, including us. So we have many, many, many things planned to talk about. And this class is already, it just created itself, basically. Even if we didn't want to do it, it just was nudging us for weeks and weeks and weeks to create. And we know it has to be out in the world, if we like it or not. And we're being the messengers, bringing that information to you and others to really start living the way we were meant to live on this planet. It is a difficult planet to be on, but you know what? We can create heaven on earth, and we can create a beautiful, expansive, magical life. We can.
Yeah, so it's a live class in Hollywood?
It's a live class. Streamed.
Yes. Yeah, I'm going to live stream it as well, because we have people, who are asking from different places. So we'll set that up as well. But Gosia and I truly have some exercises for you guys to do, really practical exercises that really allow you to start playing with the molecules of magic, straight away. I'm really pragmatic and practical. I learn through doing and actually perceiving the energy move. That's how I learn something. And we've also got lots of information and history about magic, which for those of you guys who are turned on by knowledge, and that really activates something, and it'll activate memories. We've got that too. And also the biggest thing for the both of us is actually creating a kind, nurturing space for everybody who comes, so you feel safe to explore that and to be that and to ask your questions, and how weird they are, that really isn't going to bother us, and truly just to have a really good day of tapping into some spaces and activating our bodies and really tapping into how magical and supernatural are you, and using it. That's the key, actually starting to use it to create your life.
Yay! So the class is on June 2nd. It's on June 2nd, so it's all Saturday practically. And lots of exercises. We really wanted to make it into a workshop where you put your hands on everything. This is the magic, hands-on magic, a practical, moving things in a body, tapping into things, talking about quantum physics, talking about history. It's not going to be your standard class or workshop. We're talking and putting you to sleep. We'll make you work and practice and step into everything. So you are invited.
You're all invited. And the other thing I just wanted to add, Gosia, was, the thing we don't want to do is we spent a long time clearing things which may come up, but we actually want to activate things versus clearing it, when you tap into what is true.
Yeah, then magic. Clearing is unnecessary.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, the clearing is
you bypass.
Yeah, to choose. I think we've all done enough clearing now. And I think, it really is time to start playing in that realm of magic. I know it's way more fun living there than it is in the other places. So what would that be like? Magic on planet Earth, in this reality, among this reality. And truly, what can we create on the planet with this. So if you guys know people who are also keen and interested in magic, please pass on this intro so they get to meet us. And if you've got any questions about anything about the class at all, reach out to Gosia or myself. We're here. What else do we want to ask you guys? Is there anybody who needs to ask something or would like to ask something, or there's an energy? Who would like to? Did somebody need to say something? Would like to say something?
I would like to ask something.
You would answer. My favorite person. I'm good. How are you?
Can we mute?
Who's talking?
But first of all, Maya was supposed to receive an ENT referral, and I still haven't gotten that. And I had called in like a week or so ago.
Just mute Brandy.
So I don't know if you just have the information that I.
Did you mute her?
Cool.
I can't mute. I don't have.
Okay, no. Okay. Oh, I thought it was a question. Details and registration. We'll post it together with the. There's a Facebook event. It's called Awakening Your Supernatural with Manjit and Gosia in Encino, California. So we will post everything, and I don't want to do it right now, but we'll send the recording to you, video recording, MP3, and also the invitation. So it's a full day class. It's $350, so the price of Bar's class, and ask questions, see what it's gonna create for you. Oh, thank you, you had it on. What is gonna create to you, for you, what your life is gonna be like 5 years from now, 10 years from now, with this information. As I said, it's going to be very hands-on, lots of exercises that you can repeat, that you can do at home by yourself, that you can share with your friends, you can practice with your friends, you can play with your friends. So just ask questions and join us if it feels like something you're interested in.
The other thing I just wanted to say was, if you guys have kids and you wanted to bring them along, kids are really magical. There won't be a fee for kids under 15. So if you have any kids or your pets that you want to bring along, we are open to that too.
Absolutely. So if you don't have any further questions, there was a question from Bronnie, right? You had a question? Okay, come on. I'm unmuting you right now. Yeah, come on.
I don't actually know what I'm trying to ask, but why, like, so often when I like want to create something and I know something's like in me and it's there and the magic is there, I always perceive like the negative thoughts of other people, where they're creating from, and then like it all like goes downhill and it's so heavy. How do I get out of that? Like I feel everybody else's things and not my like happy thing. And I don't, because like how you spoke earlier, you mentioned like you have a day where it's just awful, and I get that, and it's so intense, and then the next day I'm like totally fine, and it's so fucking confusing. And so I just wanted to, I don't even know if I'm allowed to ask that question.
You're allowed to ask any question. So, well, you are psychic and aware that Manjit already wrote. How psychic are you? How aware are you? How much are you actually perceiving from everyone? And unfortunately, we might not have very good news for you. You can't turn off your awareness. It's like a bad smell, It's just if somebody is projecting all this negative, heavy thoughts, feelings, emotions, and you're surrounded by it, there's no escape of it. But you can acknowledge it smells. Ooh, it smells. What am I going to do about the smell? Am I going to just put a bag over my head and pretend I don't want to live because it's heavy and smelly around me? Or am I just going to move on no matter what? Maybe I can leave the room. Maybe I can create more space. Maybe I can change the molecules so the smell dissipates and releases. Maybe I can just tap into who am I right now? What am I right now? What is my energy? And do not mix. So it's very easy. We have this capacity of kind of calibrating to people around us. So when you're surrounded by a lot of negative people, we usually kind of just go, phew. But we also have the capacity to bring the whole group up. The higher your vibrations, the bigger your capacity to shift the whole room. That's why we can change the whole room. So you can actually choose to go into, oh my gosh, it's so heavy here, I can't take it. Oh, I don't know if I can make it here. Or like, okay, what catalyst for change? I am here. What magic can I be? What energy, space, and consciousness can I be right now to shift everyone around me? And you know what? The ones that can't take you, they will leave. They will literally leave the room. They will go away because they will not be able to stand you. They will find any excuse under the sun to leave, to remove themselves. But you actually can change your whole vibrations. And it's now, thank God, scientifically proven that we do change the energy of the room. We change the brain waves. We change the energy of the bodies around us by choosing to be the ones that are brighter, lighter, more expanded, less limited, less contracted, less judgmental. So it really is a choice. And sometimes it's difficult when you're like in a concert, or concerts usually tend to be more joyful, but in a place where energy tends to be heavy, it's like, oh, I want to run away. And you do have a choice, you know, maybe you don't want to shift million people, angry people, but maybe you do. So no escape from this. Sorry.
And I just want to add,
yes.
And I just wanted to add, Bronnie, like none of us ever went to like energy school where we were taught how to manage energy, because that's what you're doing essentially with the supernatural, is because it's really easy to be compounded. And don't make yourself wrong for this. Nobody ever taught you what to do with it. So you're aware of it, but if you don't know actually how to competently, and I'm talking with competence, like having the skills and the confidence to be able to step into that and go, right, I am going to be able to blah, 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 blah. So that's why a lot of us, like I feel for me anyway, on my journey, the reason I never acknowledged and claimed my magic wasn't because I didn't know it was there. It was I didn't know what to do with it. And I didn't actually know how to create with it and move those molecules. So it's almost like we need to teach ourselves and learn, how do we actually use this energy? And that's why I said this class is really pragmatic. We weren't given these tools. Yet Gosia and I, and you guys probably too, have vicariously learned through accident. And then you kind of put the pieces together. So this is the knowledge we would like to share with you guys. It's like, okay, that's real.
I have an example of this, if you don't mind me saying it. I was in this classroom of little kids, and they wouldn't let us do anything. We just was there to observe, right? And so a lot of them let us do stuff, but they wouldn't. My presence literally shifted these kids from just being because the teacher said so. She said, before, she said these kids were like, but now they're turned on. And I acknowledge myself for turning them on. And that sounds awful when you think of turning kids on, because you're not supposed to turn kids on, right? There's this big old thing around all of that. But literally just my presence, because I didn't do anything. I didn't even get to react with them at all. I was just there. So my presence literally turned them on, made them excited. It made them happy, whatever you want to call it. So I just wanted to throw that in there. Thank you.
Beautiful. And here's the thing, you did interact. We interact with every molecule all day, every day. We interact with absolutely every being on the planet all the time. So that's where it's like, interaction isn't just verbal. Interaction isn't just physical. Interaction is the engagement and the dance of molecules. So with that, I want to say we have gone over time, which thank you so much, you guys, for giving us some extra time too. But thank you, Jill. That was a beautiful example. So really do start acknowledging some of those places and spaces where this is happening all the time for you.
Thank you so much. Thank you for being here with us. And thank you everyone in the future who will choose to watch it. And the class is June 2nd. So we don't have much time and still plenty of time to choose. Thank you. Thank you, Manjit. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you, guys. Thank you. Lovely to meet you guys.
Ciao. Bye-bye. Ciao.